Alright, so we actually have a pretty interesting video to talk about here today. We're going to be looking at Modern Warfare Ghosts, Advanced Warfare 2, and all of these different games that were actually supposed to happen. We're supposed to be a part of this umbrella that is the Modern Warfare trilogy, and those were supposed to be pretty much the Modern Warfare 4 that we never got, and we're still pretty much not getting because this upcoming Modern Warfare, not really a part of the same storyline. It's this reboot. You know, you have the similar characters, but it's a completely different storyline. So we're not getting a sequel to that storyline, but we were actually supposed to in several different games. A lot of really weird stuff. I feel like these are old conspiracy theories that people always talked about, and you never really thought they were actually going to happen, but apparently this was actually stuff that was supposed to happen. We're also going to be looking at, main menu concept art of this game from the actual, art directors from Call of Duty. Like, this is some real stuff we're going to be looking at here of what it could have looked like, and I don't know, it's honestly very interesting. So let's go through a bunch of this information within this video. Call of Duty Ghosts was reportedly initially called Modern Warfare Ghost. So before we go through the explanation of where this is coming from, I just want to show you guys right off the bat what these concept menu images actually looks like. So again, these are not from fans, these are not fan made. This is actually from a user interface designer from Call of Duty, and this has actually been out for a couple of months now, but for some reason it's just been circulating on the internet and people have been talking about it. The Gaming Revolution also mentioned it today as well, from all of his different sources that he has, and it's just so interesting to see that this was the stuff that we could have seen within the game. So here's the first one up on screen. Now, personally, I think it's cool just because of the fact that it's like this sort of lost Call of Duty memorabilia piece that we'll never sort of see. And I don't know, just something about it is just very cool and interesting because, I don't know, just this early menu look, it says here, of this Call of Duty that we would have seen, I guess, in the place of Ghost. Now, if you look at it graphically, I mean, it looks pretty bad. And again, this is just a template, an early design, an early sketch. Obviously, in the actual game, it would have looked a lot cleaner, a lot nicer. So maybe I can't really judge it, and none of you guys can really judge it too much. But it's interesting, like you see up there, the top left corner, it says Modern Warfare Ghosts. Like, that's an actual thing. And again, the point of this game was supposed to be continuing off of the Modern Warfare 3 storyline. I don't know how much of COD Ghosts they would have actually brought into MW3 storyline, because again, COD Ghosts is a whole different situation, but maybe we would have seen some of these elements from COD Ghosts into a continuation of MW3's storyline. Like, that would have been very interesting to see. So it makes you think and wonder, what if they actually did that? So that's actually the first design here, the first early menu design of what they were, figuring out right now. Obviously, here's the second one, a completely different vibe to the first one, more of, I feel like, a Modern Warfare vibe, definitely a Modern Warfare 2 vibe. And this one here, Modern Warfare Ghosts as well. The left side just says Call of Duty Ghosts, and then the right side says Modern Warfare Ghosts. So I don't know if they're in the middle of figuring out what to title the game. I think, if anything, what they were thinking is that, they were going to call it Modern Warfare Ghosts, but they wanted to advertise it more as like Ghosts. They wanted the Ghost to be the main thing, and then they probably also figured, let's just drop the Modern Warfare. So it's still a part of the Modern Warfare storyline, but the main thing is Ghosts, and we're making this, again, I don't know what their plans were. I don't know if it was supposed to be some sort of interpretation of COD Ghosts, but just with the MW3 storyline. But all I know is it's just, I don't know, man, it would have been so sick. So again, here, the early menu design, the MW2 vibe, pretty cool as well. Again, it doesn't look that good, but that's just because this is an early concept art that they were drawing up and making for the game when they were first in talks about Call of Duty Modern Warfare Ghosts. Just, that's so weird to say, but it's just so interesting. So let's go through here the information. The UI designer claims they helped manage the daily schedule and workflow of artists on my team. Although the vast majority of concepts seem to feature the usual aspects, this Twitter guy has stumbled across the title Modern Warfare Ghosts and one of the images suggesting this was originally the name of the game while it was in pre-alpha build. Ironically, prior to the reveal of Call of Duty Ghosts, fans continuously use the term Modern Warfare 4 as they expected the next game to be a direct sequel. In fact, the fans were not technically wrong, as executive producer Mark Rubin previously confirmed that it was planned to be a sequel until the studio had a change of plans. So they were going to make, after MW3, MW4 pretty much, and you know, whether or not it was called MW4 or it was called Call of Duty Modern Warfare Ghosts or COD Ghosts Modern Warfare, whatever they wanted to call it, that's what they were going to do, and they obviously changed their plans. Now this gets even more interesting. We have Advanced Warfare and Modern Warfare also starting out as sequels, and more importantly, Advanced Warfare starting out as a sequel to this as well. Like, that's just so weird. Would it have been called Advanced Warfare 2? Would it have been called Advanced Modern Warfare? I guess that's not Modern Warfare because it's Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare Ghosts? Like, I don't even know, honestly. I mean, it seems like they were really thinking about all of these different ideas when they were first developing these games. And you have to think as well, Sledgehammer did work on MW3, so when they were, you know, sectioned off to make Advanced Warfare, or I guess their new IP for their new development cycle for Call of Duty, they probably thought, like, you know, let's continue this storyline. We were part of MW3, we know what was going on, and we could do something here. In addition to Modern Warfare Ghosts, Advanced Warfare and the upcoming Modern Warfare were also apparently touted to launch as Modern Warfare sequels beforehand. However, after Activision realized they kind of finished the story in MW3, there wasn't really much of a point. Instead, we'll be getting a reboot of Modern Warfare on October 25th, 2019, obviously. And then furthermore, the Game Revolution, popular YouTuber in the community, claims that Sledgehammer Games were working on AW2 for a short period of time until producing COD World War II, while a hardcore and boots on the ground experience was widely acclaimed from the players. This was probably the correct decision. So many different stuff going on here. First, again, you know, not only the games back in the day, the game that we're seeing right now, Modern Warfare, also apparently was supposed to be MW4. And you know, we would always put in the title MW4, we would always say, like, you know, this year has to be MW4, but we never really knew. But it looks like when they were making this year's game, 2019, they were like, you know what, let's continue this storyline and let's get Modern Warfare back in this series here. But I guess they thought, you know what, we can have more creative control, we have the ability to make a better game if we, you know, have a new storyline, but also keep the Modern Warfare name. That's obviously what they ended up doing for this year. Now, going back to the continuation of the storyline with the past games, Advanced Warfare 2, that's a whole nother deal. I guess Advanced Warfare 2 wouldn't have had that same storyline. That was supposed to be a sequel of Advanced Warfare, I'm pretty sure, but that would have been very interesting there to see. The original Advanced Warfare, though, that could have been, and obviously what we talked about before, that could have been an actual sequel to the Modern Warfare series. So it pretty much would have been, and obviously I think you guys wouldn't have liked it, the Call of Duty community wouldn't have liked it. You'd pretty much take Captain Price and put him in an exosuit, and that would have been Advanced Warfare. And I really don't know how many people would have enjoyed that, and it definitely, you know, maybe would leave a bad mark on the storyline and the community. And although Advanced Warfare, personally, like, I did enjoy that game, that was a pretty fun game. If you threw in the Modern Warfare series and sort of conflated that iconic trilogy with this, you know, crazy new advanced experience, it wouldn't have been good. You know, the fact that Advanced Warfare was a separate storyline to everything else, its own game, you know, made it so people could hate on it, but people could also respect it for what it is. It, you know, brought some change to Call of Duty, and that's that. And now Advanced Warfare 2 as well, them also wanting to make a sequel, maybe also tying it back to the Modern Warfare series. I don't know how that would have done. I mean, honestly, who knows? We're never going to know at this point. It's just insane that that was an actual, like, possibility. I guess it's all down to Activision, because like we said here, Activision said, well, I guess we did finish the storyline, so there really is no point in dragging that out. But I'm surprised they didn't drag it out, because of, you know, Activision, they want that money, and they know Modern Warfare makes the money. I guess that's why they're using the Modern Warfare title this year, even though it's not the same storyline, but that's for a different video, I guess. But, you know, seeing Advanced Warfare 2 now, maybe if it didn't have advanced movement and it had the Modern Warfare series, a sequel, a direct sequel to MW3, AW2, instead of COD World War II, could have been pretty interesting. I don't know. I mean, if they took out the advanced movement for AW2 and had the Modern Warfare storyline, it could have been a decent game. I don't trust Sledgehammer Games, and I don't know if they would have done that and they would have made a good Modern Warfare game, and they would have sort of respected what the Modern Warfare series was all about. I don't know if they would have been able to do that, but the fact that that was even considered, that was a plan that could have actually happened, is just sort of mind-blowing. So, I don't know, I feel like this really puts a new perspective on the past Call of Duties, and it really makes me like rethink as to how these old Call of Duties were actually made and what could have happened, and how it really wasn't set in stone. Like, all of these different crazy ideas were actually, legitimately discussed and talked about and could have happened. Modern Warfare Ghost instead of COD Ghost, a new sequel to Modern Warfare 3, MW4 instead of Advanced Warfare. I mean, like, all of this different weird stuff. I mean, it's just, honestly, I find it really interesting and really cool. So let me know what you guys think about that. Leave a comment below. I should have done this at the beginning of the video, but leave a comment below, what game would you have wanted to see? Would you have wanted Modern Warfare Ghosts? Would you have wanted Sledgehammer Games to try to work on a sequel for MW3? Like, would you have wanted any of this stuff to happen? Because, like I said again, I feel like it would have been very interesting. Who knows? Maybe they would have just been terrible, but we'll never know. So, I don't know. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Also, leave a comment below Modern Warfare Ghosts if you watch the whole video. It's greatly appreciated as always. Taking a break from some Modern Warfare videos. We'll come back tomorrow with some more leaked information. I thought this was just a pretty cool topic and thing to talk about. That's just sort of a blast to the past with a bunch of stuff we never really knew was possible, but apparently was actually going to happen. So thank you guys so much for this video. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.